Hello, YouTube. I have to say, this is a long time coming. This is probably about this video. I just looked at the clock and it's 4:44. Um, this video is 6 years in the making. And then on top of that, this video I was supposed to make on Saturday. Then I didn't, so I went to make it Sunday, and then I didn't make it Sunday. So here we are now on Tuesday afternoon. However, we're here, we've rocked up, we've showed up, and that's the most important thing. But my name is Amy Griffin. Welcome to my channel, and I am the founder of Season Naturals. A bit about me. I'm from Australia. No, we don't ride kangaroos to school. And unfortunately, I didn't know Steve Irwin personally, but I would have loved to. Rest in peace, that beautiful soul. I am a Capricorn, so don't fuck with me. And I'm disciplined as hell. I am learning to surf, which a lot of people think I look like a surfer, and that's actually why I started, because I kept getting compliments last year and I was like, you know what, stuff it. Like, this is so embarrassing because like everyone thinks I am a surfer or I look like a surfer, and I'm definitely not. And learning how to surf, and I would highly recommend it. Being 31 years of age and learning how to surf is the most humbling thing I have ever experienced. So go learn to surf and I will keep you updated with that. Actually, it's a great video idea. I love to travel. I love to camp. I love to spend time in nature. And I love empowering people to push through their boundaries. So, welcome. So, Season Naturals, what is it? And what am I doing here? Why am I on YouTube? So, you can thank this little thing. Season Naturals was created through a very simple truth. We as humans have or go through so many different seasons in life, through calm seasons, challenging seasons, happy seasons, seasons such as parenthood, career seasons, seasons through relationships, seasons through friendship, and through all of it, like I guess I wanted to create a brand that helps people feel confident and supported through all seasons of life, whatever season they're going through. It is pronounced season, but we spell it S-I-Z-N. And the reason for that is we believe in saying yes to a more zen way of living. Especially in 2026, I am a big believer that it's well and truly needed right now. Our philosophy is super simple. We believe in using natural products. We believe that, you don't need a 20-step skincare routine. No matter how old you are, and to really bring it back to how you want to live your life. I am a true believer that life is way too short. And through my own challenging seasons, I was in this, I guess, season really of, achieving everything that I wanted to achieve. But when I achieved it, I was always thinking, what's next? And what's next? And through pretty tough conversations with myself and an incredible trip that I had last year at Mount Everest Base Camp, which, by the way, we'll have a video about that like later down on the track, really became clear on how I wanted to live my life and what I wanted out of life, because life is too short. And, for us at Season, the concept of really focusing first and foremost on natural products was a big thing for us. So we provide natural products, firstly starting with the natural deodorant, which most people use, not everyone, which has surprised me. The past couple of years has surprised me at how many people actually don't use deodorant. And don't need it, by the way, but starting so simple with a daily product that most people use every single day. Keeping it super simple. I feel like in the season that we're in 2026, we're so lucky to have so much information at our hands, and so much data. But what can come with that is like analysis paralysis, I think is what they say. But not only that, but like, I guess being so overwhelmed with so much information, not knowing where to start. So we just stick to our own way. And for me, I wanted to help people or provide a product that, provides no confusion. There's no compromise, a natural deodorant that actually works. And that's why it took me 3.5 years to actually develop. That wasn't selling or launching the business. That was purely just in pure development. A lot of sweat and hard work and tears has gone through that. So that's essentially where, I guess, what Season Naturals is, and why I'm here. Again, as I said, I have put it on my to-do list. It's been 6 years in the works. And I think for me, at the beginning of this year, I listened to a podcast, and one of the questions, or one of the highlights from that podcast was, even though I had views on the podcast, I didn't enjoy a bit of it, but I'm not going to go into that. The question was, if your life was a movie, what would the audience be screaming at you to do? And before I give you my answer, I want you to think about that, because it's a very, very powerful, powerful question. For me, it was content, content, content. You need to build in public. You need to build in public. And I haven't up until now. And I contemplate on this a lot. For those people who know me, I think would be a little bit surprised in me saying this, but purely based off the fact that I am an extrovert. I could talk to a wall. I love talking to people, love learning about people and, all that type of stuff. I've been in sales roles, leadership roles, all that type of stuff. But you put a camera in front of me, I'm done. It's wild. And I think also the concept of putting myself out here, building something in the middle of it, I don't know whether or not it's going to work or not. And that's scary. No matter who you are. I think I do a lot of work. I've done a lot of work, in reflecting, working on myself constantly. Because it's always a journey. I think when I was younger, I always thought that there would be a destination of when I would become this Amy. And as I get older, I realize that there's never a destination. It's always a journey. But with that, doesn't mean I still doubt myself. I'm still thinking here, what are people going to think? Have I said the right thing? Are they going to think this? Are they going to think that? But I have made my decision that I need to build in public. And yes, okay, I've got to be the face of my brand. But reality is that for me, I was very privileged with the upbringing that I had. However, I don't come from parents who have or had businesses. So I found myself, seeking advice through YouTube, through, podcasts, through social media, and finding people who were building, right then and right now from a startup, like I was. And I couldn't find it. I found incredible people who I still look up to as mentors, and consume their content, who have provided incredible advice. But that advice comes from them now sitting on, a lot of revenue or successful businesses. And we haven't even broke even yet. So for me, I wanted to build something to hopefully one day have someone come across this channel or send it to someone who's building something, who may be doubting themselves or has this fire in their belly and doesn't know where to start. I hope that I can provide as much support, because again, I don't know that this season could all be a flop. Not that intuitively I don't think that's the case, because you have to be to somewhat delusional, and I'm learning that as I go. I say that, but I don't feel like that at times, especially right now. But that's life. I think it is important for me. I jumped into season full time. I left a very good job, a very, very good salary last year to go full time into season. And now, like, we were getting, there were some days where we weren't getting an order every day. And max, I reckon we were getting about 2 orders per day. This is when I quit. We were running no ads. I had no income coming in. Like I'm still not taking any money from the business. Like we are a legit we're still a startup. So we're entering this next season where we're about to sell out of our deodorants, and our next units of our next order isn't going to come in till mid-year. So we're in a process right now of trying to figure out what really I'm going to do for the next 6 months, but how we're going to, maintain our relationships and make sure that our customers who have been using us, especially from the start, are communicated effectively about this, but also, they're not going to have our deodorant for a couple of months, but I'm making sure that somehow they're going to be stocked up. That means, we need to start running like a pre-purchase campaign, because once we have the product, if we haven't jumped on social media for such a long time, it's all just going to be a flop. So there's a lot of things. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I just want to show you and give you an example of like where we are right now. I'm not standing here on a business that has made X revenue or gone viral or done all that. We are legit in the middle of this season. So I guess for me, you're on this channel, you'll obviously find founder diaries when it comes to building season, but I am a big believer in helping people live a more active and healthier lifestyle. So, I'll be sharing certain things that I've done in my life when it comes to, say, performance. Yes, that is a Guinness World Record up there. I rode the assault bike for 24 hours. I highly recommend don't do that. The PTSD I have still from that bike is just insane. But I have traveled, like I said, Mount Everest base camp. So we'll do some tips and tricks. Well, tips and tricks. I mean, I can do tricks, but tips on that. I've just recently did a high rocks. I was a vegetarian. I've switched back to eating meat. There'll be honest conversations about using natural products, how to make the transition, what products I use. And I'm still all on this journey as well. So there's going to be a lot of things regarding a little bit of everything, I hope. But I really appreciate you watching this first video. I'm excited to take you on this journey with me, and welcome to my season.